Hope you're doing well in Jesus' name today. Last day of September. The assigning of the call. I now rejoice in my sufferings for you and fill up in my flesh what is lacking in the afflictions of Christ for the sake of his body, which is the church. Colossians 1 verse 24. We take our own spiritual consecration and try to make it into a call of God. But when we get right with him, he brushes all this aside. Then he gives us a tremendous reviving pain to fasten our attention on something that we never even dreamt could be his call for us. And for one radiant, flashing moment, we see his purpose and we say, "Here I am, send me." Isaiah 6:8. This call has nothing to do with personal satisfaction, but with being made broken bread and poured out wine. Yet God can never make us into wine if we object to the fingers he chooses to use to crush us. We say, if God would only use his own fingers and make me broken bread and poured out wine in a special way, then I wouldn't object. But when he uses someone we dislike, or some set of circumstances to which we said we would never submit to crush us, then we object. You see, this is how he does it. By confronting us, placing us in situations we don't want to be, with people we dislike, we try to avoid. Well, he brings them back in our life to squeeze us more, press us, so that all the darkness and filthy things in us may come out. So next time, my friends, you find yourself in front of that person again and wonder, why is this happening again? This is the reason. And until you are made okay with this person, it'll keep on happening. So, but when he uses someone we dislike or some set of circumstances to which we said we would never submit to crush us, then we object. Yet we must never try to choose the place of our own martyrdom. If we are ever going to be made into wine, we will have to be crushed. You cannot drink grapes. Grapes become wine only when they have been crushed. I wonder what finger and thumb God has been using to squeeze you. Have you been as hard as a marble and escaped? If you're not ripe yet, and if God had squeezed you Anyway, the wine produced would have been remarkably bitter. To be a holy person means that the elements of our natural life experience the very presence of God as they are providentially broken in His service. We have to be placed into God and brought into agreement with Him before we can be broken bread in His hands. Stay right with God and let Him do as He likes, and you will find that He is producing the kind of bread and wine that will benefit His other children. In other words, my friends, don't resist when you are placed in an uncomfortable situation. Don't try to escape. Don't try to avoid. It's not going to be pleasant, but it's necessary. It's necessary in order for God to be able to use you and bless others. Otherwise, He will just put you aside and say, oh no, I can't use this one. I know myself. I know where I'm resisting. I know the people with whom I'm resisting. How I try to avoid them. I try to have no contact with them because it's an unpleasant relationship. But if God allows me to be with them, I will submit. Now I know better. Now I know that He's allowing this to happen so that I can become poured out wine and broken bread. When you know the purpose, when you know the desire behind it that God has for you, you will accept it better. Will you let Him? Will you let Him squeeze you in His hands? Will you allow Him to press you? May the grace of God give you the power to surrender more and more. God bless.